Well, folks, there it is. I think I got everything cleaned up that I can clean up today. I'm like 99.9% done. All I have to do is a final walk around when I come back with my truck, pick up any little chunks that I see, but there's the old Woodyard. So cleaned up all that bin, this bin, that bin, that bin, this bin, the bin over there, the bin over there, the bin over there, the bin over there, and all the debris that was there. So Bert's been moving his totes over there with his wood. He's gonna put it way out there, I guess. Wide open spaces now. I loaded up those logs, the last ones that were here, and I scooped up the last of the debris and raked it all up. So yeah, I brought the grapple over here in the trailer and I unloaded it. And there it is. I put it in the bucket, so I'm going to take the tractor, bucket, and the grapple back to the new place. And then I'm going to come back with my truck, and I'm going to pick up that last load of logs there and dump that, and then I'll disconnect that. And I'm going to come back with my truck and just do a final walk around and basically look for any chunks of wood that I might have missed so that they don't get hit with a lawnmower and cause any problems. I tried to pick up pretty much everything I could find, little pieces of bark, little chunks of wood. I think I got pretty much 99.9% of it, 9999. But yeah, it's all cleaned up, so wide open spaces. So those chunks there, I asked Bert if he wanted those, and he said sure. So he's got some boiler wood there. And then this stuff, I think he's gonna be okay with me leaving. He can have it for boiler wood, because these are chunks that I don't think I could even load with my tractor. I picked this one up and just slid it over. I couldn't really get it up off the ground. I could just get a little slide to it. And these chunks I set up there. So he can have all this stuff for cutting up for boiler wood. It's tree service wood that was brought here like over a year ago, probably like a year and a half, and it'll be good boiler wood. There's probably a full cord of wood there, so we can have that. And then the only other thing that I got to come back for, Bert hauled some wood here from my brother's place, and I hauled a load back from my brother's place, and he used a bunch up in the barn for the flooring. But over here where the cats, oh look at, there's some kittens over here where the cats hang out. Ooh, they look kind of diseased. That one looks nasty. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 6 cats in total, and then there's some kittens there, obviously. I hadn't seen those. But I hauled back a bunch of boards, but a bunch of them were used. I want some of these because I want to make some kindling and then use boards for some other things. So I'm going to probably take like half of these and he can have the other half. Yeah, there's another one back there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big cats, and I see some kittens there. I guess there's a batch of them. There they are, last of the cats. That Tom looks like he wants to get frisky with that female, that's my guess. And at the new farm, there's also barn cats. There's 5 of them. They're all spayed and neutered, so won't have any kittens, but we got barn cats. So I saw them there the other day. They're kind of shy, they don't just come out. So yeah, I'm gonna take this load, take the tractor back, and then come back with my truck, haul away that load, and I'm gonna take, I think, like half of these boards. You can have the rest. And so yeah, the cleanup is just about clean. Oh, I got one other thing I got to get when I come back. I'll probably bring my trailer, obviously, once I dump it out for those boards. And then I've got this one last tote here with sawdust. I'll probably put the sawdust into the bin out there. Yeah, it's just a little bit of sawdust. Put that in this pallet, and I'll get rid of this crappy pallet. And then that's everything of mine is out of here. Like I said, Bert can have those, and there it is. Big cleanup. All right, we're gonna go for a little drive on the tractor and then come back and pick up the trailer. Well, I just got done emptying the trailer out. I took this bladder out. This is one that got sawdust, which will get used here, and I stacked all of the lumber that I took. Some of this is going to be used for kindling. We're going to cut it up, and then some of it might be used for a firewood stand. Some of them might be used for bracing for the ends of bins, because there's good enough lumber in there that we can cut it to size, and I can use it for the angles on the end for bracing for the pallet. So got that done. And up here on the platform, I dumped the logs that I hauled here. And what else did I do? A bunch of stuff. So yeah, I dumped out these logs here. These are mostly red pine. And I drove the tractor back a while ago, and I brought the grapple back in the bucket, which was the easy way to do it instead of trying to get it out of the truck, put it in the truck and transport it. So I'm going to take the grapple out now, and then there's a bunch of debris down here that we scooped up from these logs. It's over there, that pile. I'm gonna scoop that up. We're gonna take it back to the woods. I'm gonna check and see how wet it is down there. It's been dry now for 2 weeks. We haven't had rain. So there's a good chance I can find a spot. And she said, just pick a spot that's, good that we can make brush piles. And as we cut trees down, we can haul all the brush back there and dump it. If we start working on the trees in the yard, there's a whole bunch of dead ash trees that we're gonna cut down. And then we're going to haul all the branches down with the tractor, with a little dump trailer. I'm gonna find a spot that's dry enough away from the woods, that's not in the pasture area, that we can dump all the brush. I'm gonna go check that out right now.
took the second bucket full down to dump into the woods too, and when I got in there, it was even softer than the first time. I must have broke it up a little bit. I started sinking pretty fast, so there's no way we're going to be able to go in here during the summertime because it's just super wet in there. I'd actually had to use the bucket. My back tires were just a spinning here. And so that's going to be a wintertime project, but all those ash trees are dead. There's about 60 of them there, so that'll happen in the winter. So anyway, I got that cleaned up. That's all for today, folks. Good night, Irene.